Be any longer because we do not have a lot of time, and I would like to give the floor to the others as well. Thank you very much, Patrick. I would also like to greet Campus Shrell from the Bureau of Pascal Canfin. Carl, thank you very much for being here today. I know that Pascal couldn't be here today. Carl, I can't see you. You can take a seat, by the way, Carl, if you find some. So Carl, clearly, is instrumental in Pascal's bureau. Pascal is mobilized a lot at the moment because there is a text on nature restoration. I do think we have a video presenting the arch. So let's have a look at this video. Thank you to the technicians, by the way, for their work.
C'est d'abord un projet d'exception avec une envergure, une ambition internationale qui a pour but de recenser les solutions européennes.
Est-ce qu'on part pour 2 mois d'aventure ou là ça va être vraiment top?
Les solutions technologiques innovantes sont très importantes effectivement dans cette lutte contre le dérèglement climatique.
On est tout content d'avoir plein de solutions qui ont été collectées ici, à Copenhague. On en avait déjà un petit peu à bord et on va en récupérer encore à Concarneau.
Et pour moi, c'était vraiment important d'être ici parce qu'on a une superbe séquence avec l'Agence européenne de l'environnement. C'est vraiment symbolique parce que c'est une agence qui fournit de l'information à la Commission, au Parlement européen, enfin aux institutions européennes et qui nous aide à construire cette transition.
The Arch, 100 løsninger.
On se rend bien compte qu'il y a des défis dans la mobilité de demain qui sont super importants. Donc si on arrive à faire en sorte que nos bateaux puissent soit répondre à ces besoins de mobilité et ou amener des solutions de mobilité maritime, je pense que c'est ce qu'on peut essayer de faire en tout cas.
Para la transición verde y esas soluciones innovadoras que hoy hemos conocido aquí en Málaga me parece muy interesante. Imagino el resto de las 100.
That's an ideal opportunity, of course, for us to also put the spotlight on the Spanish solutions. I think we have some 7 great solutions from around the country.
Je suis vraiment ébahie de la richesse de ce projet collectif qui présente des solutions pour nos citoyens en matière de transition énergétique, écologique.
Stiamo oggi illustrando e ascoltando le idee innovative di tanti giovani che portano soluzioni che vanno nella direzione della transizione ecologica ed è una cosa molto interessante, molto originale.
Ouais, c'est un très beau projet et un très beau symbole, mais c'est aussi du concret parce que c'est une initiative qui a été prise il y a maintenant plusieurs mois, même probablement plusieurs années de préparation.
Nous sommes ici au sommet de l'Acropolis avec Francis Joyon, avec l'équipe de The Arch, pour célébrer la démocratie, célébrer les valeurs européennes, célébrer ce qui fait de l'Europe un continent à part, uni, pour agir concrètement pour la transition et contre le changement climatique.
The Arch, εκατονλήσεις για την επετάχυνση της οικολογικής μετάβασης.
Le président de la République avait, à juste titre, mentionné qu'on n'avait qu'une seule planète, il n'y avait pas de planète B, et donc il faut qu'on la préserve. Il faut qu'on la préserve davantage pour nous-mêmes et pour les générations futures. L'Europe, d'ailleurs, à cet égard, est exemplaire.
Alors pour
In order to find solutions, the Arch asked the European Business Network for innovation, but also to the International Associations of Science and Technology Path. And I would like to give the floor to its president, Salvatore Majorana, who will bear testimony to this experience of the Arch.
It is an honor to stand before you today to bring the word of the International Association of Science Parks in my role of president of the European Division. The Arch was an exciting experience, lively, full of rich experience and relationship dense. And we may today say that the European ecosystem of innovation is lively and it's ready to play its role. Science parks in this way are the home and house for companies, research institutions. They are natural connectors between the territories in our continent and across the globe. The International Association of Science Parks counts today more than 300 science parks, tens of thousands of companies located at the science parks, and universities and startups living there, helping the Arch mobilizing resources and ideas was just a natural response for us. It's our daily job. So it was very nice and a fantastic attempt to create a European response to this fantastic organization. And again, congratulations to the Arch and to the organizers for being there. And in doing so, let me profit of the occasion to say that so many times these organizations, the science parks, lively, active, and resilient on the territory, are oftentimes not in the political agenda, so maybe we may take a chance to underline that we may be useful to the system overall as we were for the Arch. And let me conclude by saying that I wish this occasion would be recurrent, at least every 2 years, and we will do our best. We will do our best to support it, and I hope the European Union could play its part to create this organization as a European-wide community of startup that will make our future in any way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salvatore. I take this opportunity to greet Nicolas from Pierre Kaleskin's bureau. Thank you very much for being here. Yves Gillet, you are vice president. Well, actually, in the Arch, there are only CEOs. Patrick Boisset, I did not tell you that, but he worked in the shipyard industry, maritime industry, the recovery of this industry thanks to Patrick. And Patrick is also going through his transition, by the way. So you have the floor. Thank you very much, Catherine. Hello, everyone. For this call to solutions, the Arch worked with professionals, with IASP, with EBN as well. We had identified 5 pillars: food and health, mobility, housing in the cities, energy, and industry. We gathered a bit more than 200 solutions, and we had to select 100 out of them. We had selected criteria with, for example, the potential impact of the solutions for accelerating ecological transition, the strength of the business model, their replicability, and also the human factor. It is of the utmost importance, obviously, when you put forward a project, when you realize a project. So we decided to present some of those solutions, 8, as was explained by Patrick, because we do not have a lot of time. But allow me to thank all of those who applied, all of those who were selected, and all of those who are here today with us. Thank you very much. So let's go with the solutions. And an award will be given by my colleagues and myself, and maybe I will invite other people to provide the award. Yves. Right? Let's start, maybe. I don't know whether there was another, but I see Sandrine Mollet. Sandrine. Yeah, well, actually, there is an order. It does not mean that there is a better solution than another, but it is in alphabetical order, actually. So we started with Chiara Verderese with APA, air pollution, Italy, because our friend MEP will have to leave us, so she will be giving the prize to Chiara Verderese. Where are you? From Italy. I think that there were many projects from Italy. Well, Italy is the second country where there was the most mobilization to provide solutions. Good work, Salvatore. Thank you to all the Italian stakeholders. So we received more than 20 Italian solutions. We also received Czech solutions. 18 countries are represented in the solutions.
Inviting us today. I'm so honored and excited to be here. So we all know air pollution is harmful to human health, detrimental to ecosystem, and a threat to economic growth. With over 8 million premature deaths and an estimated global gross domestic product loss of $5 trillion yearly. We acknowledge that you all are working hard to change this situation and have developed a new zero pollution vision for 2050 and a zero air pollution plan. However, we must recognize that all of these pollution-related actions will make tangible differences in 20 years' time, not today, nor next month or year. Are we prepared to wait more years whilst several extra millions of premature deaths will occur? I hope the answer will not yes. For fighting climate change and reducing CO2 emissions, we all recognize the importance of direct carbon capture from the air, and industry are paying in advance carbon credits for their future emissions. Here today, I'm asking why we don't recognize also the importance and the role of direct pollution capture from air, especially in urban areas, where over 95% of Europe's urban population is exposed to particulate matter levels above World Health Organization limits. The same particles that even 100% electric vehicles on our street will be still emitted from their tires, brakes and road abrasion, making harder to meet World Health Organization limits in urban areas. At East Clean Air, which I represent today, we are grateful to you for the support received, mainly through the Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Grant, and more recently for 2 groundbreaking co-founded projects by IT Manufacturing to enable the industrialization of our innovative technology called EPA, air pollution abatement. It is a unique water-based and completely filterless system, able and certified to capture up to 99% of air pollutants and 20% of CO2 simultaneously, which can make significant changes in the short and medium term, where people live and work, and greatly support the EU Zero Pollution Plan, also working for new improvement and additional innovations. In conclusion, I'm here today to represent also my generation and to ask not to choose between carbon and pollution removal, but to introduce new concrete measures, financial incentives and funds for the use of new and innovative removal technologies such as EPA, which can immediately make a difference and directly serve the environment against climate change and for the people exposed in the most equitable and inclusive way. We must act now, not in 20 years. And we have a solution, but we don't have a planet B. Thank you very much.
Since I don't have a micro in my hand, so I will very quickly say something to Chiara, and then I will hand over this prestigious award. First of all, Catherine, congratulations. This is a great event, well organized, Patrick, very well organized with your team. Thank you so much. And I am very happy that we have these concrete examples of companies who are doing real change. And I think there is really big potential to deliver this real change. So thank you for that. I am amazed when I was looking at all presentation, everything. I am very proud of all of you. You know, my name is Martina Dlabajová, and I dedicated my whole life to SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises. I had my own small, medium-sized enterprises before I came to the parliament. So I am the SME person in this parliament. I am chairing Intergroup on SMEs, and I am chairing Renew Europe SME Task Force. So this is why I always will support any innovative solution, any possibility to help SMEs. And I'm happy that Chiara used already our EU funding, Horizon Europe, because I was shadow on that and I was pushing to have SMEs. So it's great to see all these concrete results. So congratulations. And Chiara, I prepared for you a surprise. Congratulations in Italian. Sono super fiera, sei grandissima, il progetto è fantastico, ho letto tutto, mi piace tantissimo, vai avanti così, qualsiasi cosa ti serve in Parlamento Europeo puoi trovarci. Congratulazioni.
Alors la prochaine, Yves.
All right. Frederick is gone. Who's next? What's the next innovation? Well, the next one is Aero by Mr. Letalek. Sir? Jean-François Talek will present this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for welcoming us, and a special thanks to Patrick for the Arch, this wonderful initiative. Aero's mission is to use the wind to contribute to the decarbonation of the shipping industry. Shipping emits about 1 billion tons of CO2 per year. This is equivalent to an industrial country's annual emissions. These emissions are expected to double by 2050. In this context, technologies harnessing the wind are very interesting because they are the only ones which can deliver fuel saving up to 45 when used as auxiliary propulsion, and because they are ready to be installed on ships as we speak. Aero designs and manufactures the Ocean Wing, a two-element wing sail which is fully automated and lowerable. The original design dates back to 2010, during the America's Cup, when the naval architecture firm VPLP, and in particular Mark van Petegem, Mark is co-founder and chairman of Aero, designed the trimaran of the BMW Oracle team, which had the original feature of a 68 meters high rigid mast. It increased the boat performance, and she won the cup.
After that, we had 10 years of research and development. We built a first prototype in 2016, and then we equipped the Energy Observer, which is a zero-emission catamaran that has been sailing all over 4 years with 2 ocean wings of 10 meters high. And this is actually how we collected a lot of data, confirming the design of our system, its performance and its reliability. And end of 2020, we signed the canopy contract for the supply of 4 ocean wings of 37 meters high, which will be installed on board the canopy vessel within the next few months.
The operating principles of the ocean wings are rather simple to explain. We have sensors installed on board the ship, measuring the wind in terms of speed and angle of attack. Our algorithms analyzes the wind data in real time to adjust the angle of attack of the main mast and the camber with a rotation of the aft flap. Its aerodynamic profile is inspired from the aeronautic, which makes it twice as performant as a conventional sail. As the system is fully automated, no additional crew is required, nor any particular sailing skills.
And today, Aero has more than 50 employees. We have our assembling factory in Caen, France, and all our suppliers are European. We're also very happy to be involved in several European projects, and they help us develop key mechanisms for our technology. As we can install several ocean wings on board one vessel, we can reach up to 45% of fuel savings. So to give you a rough idea, if we equip 100 vessels, we will save 500,000 tons of CO2. Donc 500,000 tonnes de CO2. Thank you for your attention.
Je vais demander... Non. D'abord, je voudrais demander à Jutta Paulus de...
First, I would like to ask Jutta Paulus to speak and say a few words. It's a great thing that you are here, Jutta, to give this award to Ocean Wings, because shipping and maritime shipping is something you've been working on in the Environment Commission. In the Transport Commission, I was a bit bothered by the wind propulsion system, but you supported me with the different texts you've been working on. Jutta, over to you.
That's true. And thank you so much for organizing this event. And I think it is really hugely important that a project like the Arch is showing that the industry, the businesses, the small and medium enterprises are on their way to decarbonization and to relieving pressure from the environment. Because we keep hearing, well, the industry cannot adapt. It will put too much burden on our economic sector. And we see the perfect examples in this room with these, with the people that are getting these prizes, that the opposite is true, that people are, as we speak, working on innovative solutions. And this is especially true for the project that you were just presenting, because the maritime sector is responsible for about 3% of global CO2 emissions. But the maritime sector can also be part of the solution with those innovative technological improvements that you are just presenting. And I think it's especially important that the industry does not have to buy a complete new vessel. You can retrofit your existing vessel with these solutions, and you can save CO2 emissions, but you can also save money. But because fuel has to be paid for, the wind will not present any bill at the end of the day. And therefore, I'm really glad that Katrien pushed me towards looking stronger at wind propulsion when we were working on the file of CO2 emissions from maritime transport. I've been also working on the Fuel EU Maritime file, where, thanks to your push, the Commission included a wind reward factor in their proposal, which we managed to, let's say, sort of defend in trilogues. It was quite difficult. But you are showing the way forward for the sector, and thank you so much for that very well-deserved prize.
Comme mes collègues vont
My colleague will have to leave soon, so we'll give this award, and next we'll have a general presentation of the next innovations. Also, work has been done to support this, and we have Pierre Kariskin, who could not attend, but I wanted to mention him because he played a key role, right, Nicolas? he played a key role in the last mile, you know, to work on the rewards. It's collective work. So you are representing the team, aren't you?
Donc, next one.
Next one is Nosh Bio.
A German one.
Team?
Yes.
Yes.
Nosh Bio. I hope you excuse that I'm standing up, but I have to get rid of my energy when presenting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've set the goals to fight against global warming in the European Green Deal. We, as a German startup, we are committed to contribute into that solution. But there is a problem with the public discussions about climate change. One of the biggest drivers is constantly ignored when it comes about that. I'm talking about food here. A transition from an animal-based to an animal-free diet could cut the greenhouse gas emissions of the food industry roughly by half. And we are talking about 30%. That is contributed by the food industry in total. We could reduce the land usage by roughly 76%. We could reduce the water consumption of the food industry by roughly 80%. And in addition, we could reduce the global consumption of antibiotics by roughly 80%. So we have developed a new food ingredient, sustainably and naturally produced, sourced by a filamentous fungi, a mushroom protein, that allows to produce food products that are comparably to meat, taste like meat, look like meat, have the same texture and structure, have the same nutritional values, but are healthier because there is no cholesterol and are cheaper due to our efficient technology. Our technology, in addition, allows to decentralize the global protein production and is completely climate independent. We are serving the food industry with our ingredient in order to enable the food industry to develop animal-free products that are finally seen as real alternatives to animal-based products by the mass markets. What I'm talking about here is not only an idea. The concept has already been proven, and we've just started these days collaborations with some of the biggest food companies in the world in order to design the food of tomorrow and unlock the huge potential of alternative proteins on climate. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you and encourage you to join forces with us and the industry. We need to educate consumers. There is almost no choice that is as impactful as the one whether or not to eat meat, and the people are not aware of that. Additionally, we need to incentivize. I don't get why sustainable mobility is subsidized, but sustainable food products is not. And last but not least, please help us to remove regulatory hurdles. It would help us to benefit from food innovations much quicker, and it would set the basis to make Europe to become the spearhead of this global transition and its evolving technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, becoming carbon neutral in 2050 is now an obligation. My name is Tim Fronzek. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Nosh Bio, a Berlin-based food startup. Thank you very much.
Jutta, you want to react?
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you so much for addressing this important issue. Most people are not aware that we use in Europe about 60% of our land for the production of animal feed, plus we're importing a lot of animal feed from Latin America. We all deplore the cutting down of the Amazon for the production of soy, but no one deplores that we all eat so much meat of animals that are fed with this soy. And we know that, let's say, from our evolutionary history, our bodies are, let's say, directed towards high quality, high density protein nutrition, because that was what kept us alive over thousands or millenniums of years. So basically, the solution should not be, please, people, do not eat protein. The solution should be, let's use sustainable protein. And I think it's really, really important that we are talking about a protein, I just looked it up on your homepage, which is not attributed to very complicated means of production, to use of very complicated ingredients, a lot of energy, animal hormones which have to be extracted to produce lab meat, but that we're talking about a protein that can be grown at low cost and that can be used in a lot of food products just in the same way as animal protein is used today. So thank you so much for making this important move, and thank you to the Arch for selecting this project, and I'm really happy to hear that you're situated in Adlershof, Berlin, and maybe I'll stop over next time when I'm in Berlin.
Great.
Before we give your award, I would like to say that Christophe Killerjo has arrived. Many of you know him. Christophe has just joined us at the European Parliament. He's in the group of Social Democrats. Welcome to the Parliament. And welcome today.
I do not speak French, unfortunately, so if you told us something to do, please translate.
Ah, vous êtes deux, alors oui, mais...
Alors, voilà.
Good morning. My name is Sandrine Mollet from France. I am the CEO of Reverse Systems. First, I'd like to say that all solutions deserve a voice. Together, because together we show the way to think, to make differently, and to change. Now, let me introduce Reverse System. River system is a deep tech and global solution to produce by a new way with monitoring and reuse materials. We aim to zero wasted critical materials. Imagine we are in 250, but ships, planes, trains, buildings, and other equipment are eco-designed, eco-built by second-hand materials. Imagine the impact. Today, on average, 30 of materials are lost, sent basically for recycling, crushed, burned. With current information systems, reuse is impossible for industries. For 2 years, from the field, we engage and work with more than 50 manufacturers to address this problem and build a solution. We automatically collect, with the solution, we automatically collect data and generate reusable materials catalog. We characterize materials deposit and preserve traceability and life cycle. Then, with a powerful matching engine, we match the products and conception with reusable material. And so, by this way, we implement a real circular economy. It works. We made 9 demonstrators. It works. I know now, and with my great team, that reuse is possible. And I would like to say, here, it's possible. That's so much water, energy, and raw materials saved. This contributes with big impact to the independence and strategic autonomy of European industry. In 10 years, 10,000 industrial sites will have deployed river systems, building circular economy, saving 10 million tons of carbon footprint per year. This is my dream. I'm sure this is your dream. Thank you.
Je vais juste un tout petit peu accélérer le voilà.
Thank you for that. I think we'll speed up the award ceremony because we still have a lot of people to listen to. So we'll give you your award afterwards, ma'am. So I think we'll move on with the next innovation. We'll now listen to Alexander Bloch for BFC. Hi, everyone. Thank you for this award. Thank you for the invitation, the possibility to speak today. It's always great to speak. So one sentence. At BFC, we do electricity with paper and enzymes. So hi, everyone. I'm Alexander Bloch, in charge of sustainable development at BFC, and I'm going to present my vision, our vision. Most of the pregnancy tests that we know come from 2 miniature pills. We buy a test, we pee on it, and we look if you're a mother or not, and then you throw it away. That's 2 batteries that can create watts for months, years, but you only use them for 5 minutes, and then we throw them away. That's the case for pregnancy tests, and for 85% of miniature batteries that are being used, they end up in the rubbish or being burned. This can no longer happen in today's world, and you know it better than I do in tomorrow's world. This is why at BFC we're proposing a sustainable solution. It looks like this. We do power, electricity with paper and enzymes to turn glucoses, that is sugar, and oxygen into electricity. So no plastic, no metal. It's an organic and recyclable, reusable solution. It can also be part of a compost. We also create this type of electronic system, which is getting energy from our energy source, and we can actually provide any type of sensors or probes for pressure, humidity, shocks, and wireless communication modules. Thanks to that, we get active data. We are walking away from QR codes, RFID, and others. We store this on a small platform here, and then we send it back with NFC or Bluetooth. You'll say it looks good, but what's the point? That's a good question. when we speak with our clients and share this vision of a sustainable world in logistics, we can have this tag on a package and then follow up on the chain, food chain, on the human body to have a patch for people suffering from diabetes. They also have the possibility to do replacement and innovation in different sectors like logistics, the medical sector, waste management, packaging, you name it. It was created in May 2020, 45 people. We are becoming to grow, becoming a growing company. We'll have 1 million units produced per day in the coming year. And the other message I'd like to send is that we are all aware of the current situation, and we'd like to thank you for this event at the Arch. We know that climate change is there. And when climate's changing, the laws must change too. This is why everybody must act where they can so that all the companies with all citizens can access all these solutions, including ours and the other 99 solutions which are presented here, for a world that will be more environmentally friendly and more ethical in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Oui. Je viens dire un mot très...
I'd like to say something. Hi everyone. We'd like to congratulate the Arch and congratulate Catherine. Now, I heard the two presentations here, and I was saying to myself that maybe for the next one, you should tell us what you're missing. Where are, the problems? What do you expect from the legislation? What changes do you expect? Because according to my experience, solutions already exist on shelves. You just need to get them. Proof of concept exists. Often you have first client, first interested people in your technologies, but then when you need to massify, when you need investment, when you need to broaden the proof of concept, this is where you get blocked or stuck. So this is where maybe public authorities can become early adopters, put money on the table to support you and speed up the process. So we need to work on regulations and standards that will foster change, new techniques and new types of industries. This is partially national, partially European, but we need to hear this here in your presentation. So what do you need to walk the extra mile to actually sell your technologies and massify them? All right, thank you for that, Christophe. Daniel Precioso from Canonical Green will now make his presentation, coming from Spain. Yet just before that, I would like to thank Natalie, who will represent the EPP in our event. Thank you, Natalie, for being here today. She's too shy, doesn't want to come here to the panel, but she's here just because she's interested, she said. So thank you to all the colleagues from different groups for their presence. So the next speaker.
Of the carbon footprint from the shipping industry. I expect the answer to be yes, because we have been commenting on it just a moment before. But I want to raise our awareness in this. So let me put a number. Every single second, the shipping industry is emitting 30 tons of CO2 to the atmosphere. Now, think about it, like 30 tons of CO2 rising to the atmosphere, now, and now again. And we are well aware of this. We are working on solutions. We have alternatives to fossil fuels being developed, like green hydrogen. We are using sails to try to reduce these emissions. These solutions will need more investment to change the whole shipping fleet to adapt to these new fuels, and will take time. However, we are emitting right now. We need solutions right now, at this moment. Luckily for us, we live in a world of data. We have just talked about how we can use wind to move the ship, but we cannot stop there. We can also use ocean currents. We can use waves to find the optimum route for the boat, because we have this data. We have the Copernicus service here running in Europe, giving us this weather data for today, for tomorrow, and the day after that. So we can find the best route, and it's not only, I'm not talking only about a route that reduces emissions. we can also avoid dangerous zones, to increase the safety of the journeys, to prevent the loss of cargo. And the good news for this is almost zero cost. You will need just a computer on board to tell you the best route to follow. And you will need an algorithm reliable enough and robust enough to do this computation. So that's where I take my role. I am Daniel Precioso. I come from Canonical Green. We are developing a weather routing service aimed at the whole shipping industry to help them reduce their emissions by at least 2% and to make their trips safer. I truly believe with very low cost we can make a huge difference. And I am here today to ask you for funding to develop these ideas faster and make it more reliable. But we especially need you to reach the whole shipping industry, to share with them this solution and help them step into a new world of data. I truly believe that if we get on board together, we can make a big and positive impact and reach the ecological transition. Thank you for listening to me. Special thanks to the ARC for making this possible. I'm Daniel Precioso from Canonical Green, and I wish you all a great Wednesday.
Frédéric, nous avons encore 2 innovations à présenter.
Frederick, we still have 2 innovations to present, and then we'll hand over the awards. Indeed, and I would like to thank Jutta Paulus, who has to leave. Thank you for being here.
It's been a great honor, and it's really great to see how much is going on, how many people are working on solutions. Thank you so much for that.
Right, so the 2 last solutions are the 2 Belgian solutions. First of all, we'll have Jean-Luc Baudard from Phileol. Yes, hello everyone. And thank you very much to Ms. Chabot. Thank you also to the Arch for allowing us to be here with you today and to speak to you. Our aim at Phileol was to use wind. Wind is everywhere. And when you have wind everywhere, I'm repeating myself because of emotion, I think, you need to have a completely decarbonized product. Wind does not have to be transformed to be used. We need to have a completely decarbonized windmill. It is an urban windmill. It is completely silent. It does not vibrate. It respects biodiversity. And it is completely made in Belgium. The other goal of Phileol was to respect circular economy principles and have as low a carbon impact as possible. Then, obviously, as a windmill has to be performant, we have a design study, a very deep design study to produce electricity. So we have been working for 2.5 years at developing this solution, and we need money, obviously, as everyone. It's easy to say that, but we also need openness. I offer to have those windmills on rooftops in buildings. It's difficult because you face obstacles, political obstacles. Public authorities have been fighting with public authorities to have tests by motorways in Belgium to see whether that's efficient. And I can't do it because of obstacles. And I would like to thank you for listening to me.
Last but not least, Gérald Ledon.
Then, last but not least, Gérald Ledon for Treat and Swim is from Brussels as well. I think you are the only person from Brussels. Yes, but that is a great honor for me to be able to take the floor at the European Parliament. Asking you a question, you as an MEP, as a European civil servant, or as a European citizen, what do you want to do with Brussels? You can get involved in the city you're living in, because more often than not there are two bubbles: Brussels dwellers and Eurocrats on the other hand. So if you can support the project, that would be lovely. So the project I'm going to introduce, Treat and Swim, is based on the premise that ecological transition is not only an environmental transition, it is also a social transition. More often than not, we tend to forget about that. If people do not enjoy the translation, it won't work. I'm an architect. And yesterday you've been able to see me at the presentation with images. I'm used to show images, but today I can't. So here is an exercise. Close your eyes. Please, I'm looking at you. Close your eyes. And think about the city you are the most familiar with, of your country of origin, probably. Think about a water point, for example, or a stream in your city. In many of our European cities, those water streams are polluted. Our solution actually is to address this issue. You all know that summers are more and more scorching every year. And when you go by water, you just want to do one thing: clearly plunge in the water. But it's too polluted. Therefore, here is our solution. We want to treat the water and we want to enable people to swim in the water. Treat and swim. And we have been able to apply it in Brussels. If you support the project, you'll be able to go and swim in the water in Brussels. But we could imagine have it reproduced everywhere in Europe so that it is no longer constrained to Brussels. Thank you very much for your attention.
Donc, je voudrais remercier.
Thank you very much, and I would like to greet Stéphane Bijoux, who is from Renew Europe group at the European Parliament. Stéphane comes from the Reunion Island, and he is the voice of outermost regions at the European Parliament. Outermost regions is not that a great wording, but still it is important. And we also have a project from the Reunion. You know each other? Well, we just greeted each other, so great. So our winners, 5 of them remaining, if I'm not mistaken, for reverse. Yes, come to us, please. All the laureates and the winners, please come to us. So, Stéphane, would you like to take the floor, maybe? And Christophe afterwards. Yes, hello, everyone. I was at the back of the room, and I was listening to you. And looking at you into your eyes, very personally and deeply, I want to thank you, sincerely. Thank you for bringing with you the optimism you are depicting on a daily basis. You are showing on a daily basis in your projects. Thank you for this optimism. We can have long speeches, long strategies, and then we can have human efforts that you made. And optimism is also the fuel for victories. And we need that fuel to achieve our victories. Thank you very much for all of that. I come from the Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, not so far away from Madagascar. And we tend to think that we are so remote that Europe tends to forget us. And our political fight with Catherine, with our political group, is to make sure that no one is left behind. You all know that it is the big promise of the European Parliament's current legislature. And I was humbled listening to you. I was here to listen to you and to let you know that we need you. We really and truly need you. We believe in local initiatives. We believe in ground-based solutions, field-based solutions. We believe that we need to value collective intelligence. This is why we are all gathered today. And I would like to conclude by saying that the arch, it is a marvelous word. It makes you think of Noah's Arch. In a very dire situation, it helps you to save us all and save what's the best of us. In architecture, the arch is also helping bridge two different points of a building, like a bridge, really. And thanks to the arch, you have an extra common point with Europe. Please, if you have a euros banknote, you'll see that on all banknotes in Europe, in euros, on all euros, you have a bridge, which looks like an arch. So we have 10,000 good reasons to work together as Europeans to build solutions that we need.
Finalement, on comprend pourquoi ça s'appelle The Arch. Tu sais que Damien Grimont est ingénieur.
Damien Grimont is an engineer, by the way. Nathalie, don't you want to hand over a prize? No? Okay. Thank you very much for being here today. So we'll hand over the award. Nicolas from Pierre Carles King office, are you still here? Agathe, then, you'll come up on stage because we owe it a lot to Agathe. Well, let me say something because as MEPs, we owe a lot to our assistants. They draft our amendments. They support us day in, day out throughout the legislature. And I would like to thank Agathe. We can all applaud her, clearly, because her work was really tremendous. Karl Parsten, are you still with us? Karl, are you still here? No, he's gone. Right. Okay, who is going to hand over the last prize? Yves and Isabelle, please come with us so that you can hand over the awards. And Damien as well. So I have enough people to hand over the awards. I think we have enough people.
Ah, on les remet un par un. Alors, c'est toi qui dirige la remise.
Mais venez avec nous. Non, vous venez tous pour la photo.
Alors, on commence par lequel?
Donc je commence par Divers.
So the comments are off microphones, unfortunately, and the interpreters will do their best to help you understand, but they are anyway handing over awards, as you have understood, probably.
Voilà, merci. Souris, Damien. Voilà. Merci beaucoup. Bravo. Madame Chabot. Alors Isabelle, le suivant c'est Filéole. Oui, Filéole. Ça fait quelques semaines qu'on essaie de se parler tous les deux et il va me dire que je suis pas facile à attraper. Ouais, ben voilà, je suis là.
Vous êtes facile, mais pas à attraper.
Voilà, donc je vous remets ici. Merci. Bravo.
Restez avec nous.
Oui, Isabelle. Il faut apprendre à avoir l'habitude.
Il n'y a que voici Blanchard et madame qui se partent, les autres restent.
Alors, voilà, on regarde. Voilà.
peut aller nager.
Vous voyez l'image?
C'est vous qui découvrirez la scène ici?
Ah, si vous voulez.
Ah, pour les Jeux Olympiques.
C'est juste en face du musée Canal à Bruxelles.
Donc on enchaîne tout de suite avec, vous venez de passer.
So you've been for 2 days or 3 days on a boat, and Stefan, you've been able to be together there alone, and it's very useful. It is the arch approach. So you were all behind closed doors. Patrick, could you give us more information about this closed door meeting? Yes, I think it is a very nice recipe, magic recipe. So we have the cauldron, the ship, the boat, very nice environment, the sea, the sunset, dolphins, birds going above the waves. And then on this boat you put very different people from all walks of life, with different trainings, with one goal, everyone working in the same direction. Then you add to it a bit of art, a bit of music, a bit of culture, a bit of leisure as well. And this is the magic recipe that gives birth to thinking, very useful and rich thinking, which shapes everyone into action for the environment.
Juste avant de lancer la vidéo, je voudrais saluer, parce que je ne l'ai pas fait dans la salle, la présence du...
I would like to greet the representative of the European Union Environment Agency. Where is he? Over there. Right. So I wanted to greet you. Maybe you would like to take the floor. I don't know. Do you have a microphone close to you? No, you are too far away. Well, then come with us if you don't mind. You have been the first stop of the project.
On lance la vidéo et je vous donnerai la parole après. Merci.
Très contente d'avoir la concrétisation de cet événement.
C'est parti, The Arch.
Le premier objectif, c'était de participer à ce moment, d'avoir des échanges, de mieux comprendre les enjeux climatiques, de mieux les partager tous ensemble. d'émotion avec des intervenants exceptionnels.
Le bilan est extrêmement positif et voire même surprenant. C'est un événement qui me pousse à dire qu'il ne faut rien lâcher, tout simplement.
Bravo. Saïd El-Khadraoui, vous...
Saïd El-Khadraoui, you're representing the European Environment Agency. You have been one of the first to support the initiative within the European institutions, and I wanted you to have the floor before we give the floor to the other stakeholders. Thank you very much. Very briefly. In fact, the agency is based in Copenhagen. It is one of the specialized agencies of the European Union. One of its tasks is to bridge science and decision makers. We try to contribute to the discussions. We also try to explain what is the state of play when it comes to the environment, to the climate, to make sure that decisions of the decision makers are the right ones. The Arch is an exciting project, impressive project as well. You were able to mobilize so many people. That was impressive. It's brilliant with new ideas that we will need in the future in order to implement the required transition. So I wanted to thank you all for all your work. We are also trying to be up to the challenge. We are trying to use the good ideas. We'll be focusing on them in the next few days, the 100 ideas, see how they can be integrated into our work. We need to prepare the next steps of the Green Deal. What will be the big topics of the 5 to 10 years to come? So I wanted to thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you. So I would like to ask the representative of DG Mare to come and join us on stage. Mr. Lindman, where are you? I can't see you. Are you there at the back of the room? So this morning you are representing the Commission, and I would like to thank you for being here with us today. And great, Fabienne Keller, MEP from Renew Europe, is joining us. So you've all understood that many European members of Parliament are supporting us. Fabienne, please come and join us. No, Fabienne, seriously, come to. I see you are shy, but clearly we are insisting. We want you to be on stage, close to us. Yeah, come. All right. Thank you, Fabienne. We had a group meeting, and Fabienne just left it to join us. And we will have Emery Jacquia, representative of the enterprises business with a Mission Enterprises. Emery Jacquia, president of the Mission Enterprises community, grouping hundreds of companies in France. And during the event of the Arch, we created a group and we tried to think about how accelerating in France and Europe this approach of mission enterprises. I'll give the floor to them. Emery Jacquier gives the floor to Elise with her young mission enterprise. Thank you very much, Emery. The Arch is 200 companies and NGOs working for 4 days on ecological transitions through the 100 solutions. And we have different mission enterprises or would-be mission enterprises that worked with the community and decided to launch an appeal at the European Parliament in order to fasten up the ecological transition and secure the commitments of companies. We need a new compact for companies. The mission enterprise is defined by a strong legal framework on statutes, on governance, and on the commitments that are made. Different initiatives that have already been made in Europe. Italy has created the framework for Statuta di Benefica, and France has been creating the mission enterprise, gathering thousands of employees in SMEs, in big companies, and in very small SMEs. Spain, Belgium, Sweden have followed suit. So it is clearly a big trend, but there is no European common framework. Unfortunately, as a representative of a company that is becoming a mission enterprise in a few weeks from now, I would like to share my experience with you on the benefits of the model, on the advantages of the model. It is clearly important for the workers and collaborators because it gives you purpose. This approach is based within the strategy of the company, within its roadmap, its business model. It strengthens the consistency of the company because it is thought to be integrated directly into the business model of the company. It accelerates change and transformation. The mission is a lever of change to reinvent yourself, reinvent your company, to be aim to bet on chosen sobriety. It is also in favor of improving the social, economic and environmental performance of the company. Therefore, the company, the enterprise, will have a big role to play for the society. It will be its value. It will be about reconciling its impact and its profit, and therefore contributed to address climate change and social challenges, taking into account planetary limits and respect of human beings. As a CEO heading the CAMIF, working on circular economy, working on Made in Europe, and as a president of the Mission Enterprises community, I do believe that enterprises are instrumental in changing the society. If the change is sincere, the impact, the positive impact will be impressive, and it will be able to provide a framework to its mission, a secure framework. Today, we need you. All the solutions are not about technical solutions. We also need a paradigm shift. And today, we are putting forward an ecosystems change and solution. What we recommend is to create a European directive for committed companies, encouraging all member states to create a legal framework for mission enterprises on simple common principles based on those. Voluntary framework within which companies can engage proactively, whatever the size, their legal form, and so on and so forth. Integrating all of this in their status and to make sure that it is working towards a positive economy. It should have a raison d'être, and it should have statutory goals, social, environmental goals related to the work of the company. Double control inside the company with a governance, a mission committee specially dedicated to the follow-up of the commitments of the company, including workers and employees, and also associating different stakeholders, the latest being recommended only. Also, statutory control. Each member state will be able to define those provisions. Transparency will be key. We also recommend to create a European Federation for Mission Enterprises, gathering national associations of committed companies and researchers from different European countries. As you will have understood, this is a complement to all that is being done on the green taxonomy and on CSRD as well. And after that, the impulse of the European Parliament for a European directive in order to promote a legal framework for this work is now necessary in order to scale up, in order to accelerate the rollout of such companies in all member states. It is about sovereignty in order to make sure that we have a contributive, regenerative, collaborative economy, an economy that is different from the Chinese or American capitalism. So, società benefit, sociedad de beneficio de interés común. So let's sing the European anthem of mission enterprises, and let's bet on love, because if we love our planet, if we love our children, it is key to act, it is urgent to act. We need to accelerate to build a sustainable economy, a sustainable model of society with inspiring narratives to address the needs of youth in Europe and all over the world.
All right. What a message. We heard it. You sent your message here in front of this audience, and also reached Mrs. Graf representing DG Climate, and will speak afterwards. For now, well, I'm so moved by this. What's next? Well, we have the partner companies of the Arch who need to speak now. Yes. We have a directive on committed companies, and we hear another message. Over to you. We have Clarence Dufloc from Veneto. Then Loïc Galbran from Interaction, and Marion Bill from CIC. Looking at the watch, still 30 minutes to go, but we have a lot of things to say. So it will be tough and dense. On behalf of the 50 people working at Group Veneto who attended the Arch seminar, our group here, representative, would like to say that we are still committed and full of energy with our group of people. We decided to speed up our transition to something more sustainable. Group Veneto is a major stakeholder at the international level on sailing. 8,000 people in the company, passionate people. 40% of our 1.5 billion euros turnover comes from outside the EU. We're leaders in sailing. We're also lovers of the sea, and we need to protect the oceans. We need to find new ways of sailing, new types of sailing experiences that are respectful of the environment. We're the first site that was certified ISO 14001 for respect of the environment, 50,001 for energy consumption. After 3 years of work and R&D, we are proud to say that we created the first long-haul racing C60 in fully recyclable resin ships. This is our solution as the Arch partner. We're also selling electric ships, and we have a roadmap to propose alternative propulsion system for all our models by 2030. Now you'll say, is it enough? The answer is no, it is not. But we want to keep speeding up with our project. And with your support, with the support of the European Commission, we can speed up the process. We can speed up the transformation of the sector. And there are three things I'd like to draw your attention to. First, the European taxonomy. Sailing uses wind. Wind is a clean energy. So we would like you to clearly state in the regulations that sailing is a technologically aligned activity with the ambitions of the European Commission and the European Green Deal. This would enable us to speed up investment and promote sailing. Secondly, awareness of sailors using engines. Two effects there. First, we need to act on speed. It could reduce by 30% the CO2 emissions. Second element, to change the paradigm for these people, we like to provide tax incentives for them to choose new technologies, which are sometimes a bit more expensive when it's time to buy. And finally, the climate challenge is not the only environmental challenge. This is why we started two initiatives, clear initiatives with a French subsidiary, and they're working. It's about eco-design with the standardization of the life cycle analysis, but also with the end-of-life management of the ships and the creation in 2019 of l'APR, for the deconstruction of ships. These two initiatives need to be broadened and reach a European level. Thank you, all of you, for your attention. And Group Beneteau is here and available to meet you should you be willing to speak to us and try to support transition to sustainable sailing. Thank you for your attention, everyone. All right, thank you. We'll now listen to Lorik Galbraith for interaction. Hi, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here today and I'm pleased for working on the Arch. It is true that we joined this adventure at the very last second. There's only been little time since we joined, 6 weeks since we've signed. So we had to work fast. We had to get organized swiftly. And it was urgent that we should work fast. We didn't have much time to actually design an official partnership with the Arch, but wanted to be involved. Why? Well, because I'm very moved and concerned by the objective set, but also by the content of the message sent by the Arch, but also by the impact it will have in Europe, the impact it will have with an organization that's able to move forward with innovative and environmentally friendly solutions. It's great. So I've been working in my company for 30 years. It's called Group Interaction. It's a human resources group, temporary work, recruitment, also a group working on the digitization of relations. We provide additional services, of course. So our job is a mission, interim work, temporary work, as opposed to what was heard in the past years, which was exploiting human precariousness, actually. What we do is different. Interim work is a source of future for all people facing difficulties and who are looking for a job. And it's a daily work to support these temporary workers working with us. We're very respectful and we try to help them find opportunities for the future, and that is important. This is a message I wanted to send across. Additionally, I pay particular attention to the environment. I did not understand why when I arrived in Rennes as a student and I saw that I was coming from the countryside, there was a lot of pollution in the atmosphere because of car traffic, because I was suffering from asthma. So I wanted to create a type of heating system that would create ions of negative oxygen and heat my place at the same time. I tried, and unfortunately, it was hard. It would be money saving because we would use less energy with this equipment, but I was not able to move on with that. So I thought, okay, people will oppose us. Different people were opposing. Yes, I'm going to conclude. So here, for over 10 years, I'm proposing an ecological solution called Osmonio, which is natural system which is non-toxic to get rid of grass, weed, and maybe we'll have an authorization to sell. But you should imagine the opposition we've been facing. Nobody helped us, really. So it's a major challenge. So there is this climate emergency, we need to change the economic model. So maybe you need to help companies which come up with similar solutions. That's what I had to say. Thank you.
Alors, on a une dernière intervention.
One last person. Yes, Mrs. Yadi from CSC West. Hi, everyone. Mireille Hadi, CIC West. First, I was surprised to be here at the European Parliament. I'm from Strasbourg, and I've never went to the Strasbourg venue of the European Parliament. So it's surprising to be here at the headquarters in Brussels. So with Crédit Mutuel Alliance Fédérale, Mrs. Keller, you know that, of course. And you know the weight of this group in Western France, but also in the entire French territory with 70,000 people working. We had a specific status starting in 2020, and we recently strongly committed into creating a society dividend. What is a society dividend? Well, you can choose that 15%, 1/5 of the net result of your group could be used for the environment. This 15% represents 525 million euros, according to our results in 2022. This money will be used to support different pillars. First, 50% of that will be invested into impactful funds, which we call a reversionary fund. We do no revolution, don't worry, but it's just, stress here. But this fund aims at investing into specific structures whose aim is not financial profit, but to contribute to the energy transition and revolution that are necessary. 35% of that amount, the societal dividend, will also be used to support our clients. And more recently, it was decided that we would grant a 0% loan to all our clients and prospects who want to support soft mobility, bicycle or electric mobility, up to 6,000 euros per machine. And then the remaining 15%, 1/5 for just sponsoring, supporting the environment and healthcare. So strong commitment, and CIC is a corporate bank working for companies, supporting companies, well-known companies, not so known companies, the companies of tomorrow, innovative companies, because we need them. We need them to build a new ecosystem that is sustainable, livable, that we would like to live in. Thank you for your attention, everyone. All right, thank you. I'm sure there are many reactions here at the panel, sir. Then Fabienne and Christophe would also like to speak afterwards. Well, thank you, Mr. Chabot. Thank you for inviting me. I work at DG Mare of the European Commission. So there we want a blue sustainable economy. So for us, the Arch is an overarching project with a lot of maritime projects submitted, and you already see that in the logo, of course, but many maritime apps have been proposed. I would say maritime or water-related applications, I would say not only the sea, of course. So at DG Mare, we support innovators in the blue economy. We support them in different ways, through policies, but also through an assistance mechanism called Blue Invest. This is a platform that brings together innovative companies in the field of the blue economy. They get specific coaching to attract private investors. And in the past, we also sent calls to our proposals with Ocean Wings, for example, that received a subsidy from the European Maritime Fund. So with Blue Invest, we are there to help any type of company. Okay, this is something I wanted to share with you. Just send an application. Then I would like to say I really appreciated the commitment of these companies. You said you are companies with a mission. We have a mission at DG Mare, which is the seas, the air, water, ocean, seas, and healthy water for 2030. We have a charter that we need to abide by, and it's a commitment. It's a call for a commitment. So I propose that you sign the charter too. This charter is there to raise awareness about what the ocean is about. And for all those visiting us today in Brussels, we'd like to draw your attention to the fact that when you're exiting the European Parliament, you'll face two actions linked to the Ocean World Day. You have the Fish Love exhibition for sustainable fisheries on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, you'll see examples of urban furniture which have been recycled with the remains of some wind turbines. This is some kind of circular economy that you can see. Thank you. Now I would like to adapt the agenda because different people still have to speak, including from DG Climate, so we'll give the floor afterwards to the different associations. Hi everyone. So like all elected representatives, I'm coming in late and I would like to speak right away. No, jokes aside, I would have to say that I'm very impressed, but I'm not surprised. Now, it's you, Catherine Chabot, but Catherine Chabot is working with you. She saw you as a network. I had a quick brief on that. That's why I was speaking and chatting. I see the Breton mindset. Who's not from Bretagne, Brittany here? Oh, okay. So you have the Breton people showing the way. As the lady said, I'm from Alsace. And the people from Alsace and Brittany, we get along really well because we are hard-headed. We love our terroir, you know, as we say in French, the land and local roots, and beyond structures, themes, and so on. We work in a horizontal fashion, a transversal fashion. And what struck me when I looked at the projects that were selected, well, it strikes me that you are dealing with any types of topics at different scales or levels. And Mr. Director General, I have a dream. My dream is that the European Commission works transversally and horizontally too. Sorry for that. So I'm Fabienne Keller, Catherine's colleague. I was a mayor of a large city in eastern France, senator in France, always working for the environment. That's why a rural engineer. And I think that the EU work is a major step forward. It is because it includes companies and it sets a target which is environment. I have a specialty field which is transportation, railway. I love that because in Strasbourg I was in charge of having a railway connection, high-speed train connection. At the time I worked on the high-speed train connection to Strasbourg. But here I need to say that Catherine is a strong woman. Meeting after meeting, she keeps repeating that it is important to focus on oceans. It is important to work with companies because she is in touch with you. It's important to have a shared vision. You know that she can live on a boat for months. So I have to say I'm there and I admire her. And I think it's good. So I'd like to thank the different partners. I should have taken more time to understand who you are exactly. But we are at the crossroads between company work, climate challenges, and you're meeting objectives of general interest. But also you see that you need to meet, we want to meet the expectations of our fellow citizens. Citizens will agree to change things because we show the way. And reducing transport includes reducing car driving, and maybe electric cars will be a solution, but I'm not sure. But the easy solution is to have more people on board every car, 2 or 3 people, not one person per car. Of course, people need to speak to each other and be connected, and you name it. So it's about working together, which is what you do. So it would give you more credibility, and it's important for the regions, the local municipalities, and so on. But for citizens to be involved, citizens must feel like they're part of a horizontal approach, something more transversal that will enable them to better control the planet and reduce climate change. You are stakeholders. congratulations for that. With my colleagues Stéphane Bijot, Valérie Hayet there, the chairwoman of the delegation, we are brought together with Catherine and available for you if you need us. Congratulations, everyone at the Arch, and also congratulations to you, Catherine. Thank you.
Merci Fabienne et
Thank you. Welcome, Valérie, the co-chairwoman of the delegation for Europe Together, and Valérie. Also, Christophe, you wanted to say something before I hand over the mic to Mrs. Graf from DG Climate. Yes, we heard the word revolution. It was somehow an accident, but let's start a revolution. You know what strikes me here is the gap between that we are aware of the climate emergency, the mobilization of corporate leaders, society, and those who oppose change in the law, in the reference frameworks. And the closer we get to the elections, more and more people say, let's be careful, everybody's afraid of the requirements of the Green Deal, we should slow down. On the contrary, you say we need to speed up things. So we need to harass the different political groups to make sure they speed up change and transition. And as a conclusion, those companies with a mission, I say, yes, I'm ready to fight for that, but we're not able to have a social company status at the European level. They're being attacked most of the time by European rules to dismantle what exists. So let's fight on this. And sailing, of course, in the current taxonomy, we could not include sailing. In the e-fuel directive, we could not read that sailing propulsion would be a target for decarbonation. And 5 years back, when I had the first meeting at the RI, DG, not Barry, on sailing propulsion, the head of unit, she laughed at me. She laughed, typically laughed, because nobody imagined that sailing would become an inefficient and innovative solution to contribute to decarbonation. So we need to open doors, we need to push people. Let's not the decision makers to oppose the new solutions. Thank you.
Alors, on a fait rentrer la voile.
All right, we spoke about sailing. It's part of the maritime fuel. Just before you came, we said that. But yeah, congrats for the message. Mrs. Graf, over to you. And then we have association reps, Time for the Planet, and Wind for Sea. Ma'am, over to you. Well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I do represent the climate side of the European Commission. No doubt where we work in close cooperation with many other services of the European Commission. Because climate is a matter which is part of many topics in the maritime sector, farming, transport, the industry, trade, you name it. Climate is present in all the sectors, and here we have an integrated approach. So we can no longer afford working in silos nowadays. I had prepared my text in English, so I'll move on in English if you don't mind.
Just to say that I'm really, really delighted to be with you today to this very, very cheerful event. It's great to hear the positive vibes, the innovation solutions, especially at this moment. We are all on the same boat, if I may say so, using a shipping example. More than ever, we need to fight climate change. We know it is accelerating as we speak. Science is very clear. Nobody can deny it. We know that we need to do more to become energy independent. We need to do more to use less natural resources, to use less materials in general, in terms of circular economy. So all of this, we know what to do. We also now, especially now that the Green Deal is done, sort of, politically at the EU level, I think there are only a very limited number of pieces of legislation that remain to be sealed among the European Parliament and the Council, but the rest is largely done. But what we have to do is to have it implemented. We only have 7 years left by 2030 to get it implemented. So that's where I think we need your positive energy, your solutions on the ground, because we need everybody on board. We need to feel the ownership on the ground, from citizens to business to subnational actors like cities. I work a lot with cities, and there is also very good and very ambitious commitments coming from these actors, and we need everybody to contribute, everybody to bring solutions, everybody also to come with a new storyline about our future. It's not doom and gloom. It's not, going back to the old ages. It's a bright future that we want to develop together and with everybody on board, of course, in a fair manner. That's a point, a dimension that was raised, and rightly so, because we need to think about fairness as well. So that's what I wanted to say. We have, thought about that straight at the beginning of this new commission. When our president came up with the Green Deal objective, she also came up with the idea of the Climate Pact. And the Climate Pact is precisely that, to work with people like you, looking at solutions on the ground, or citizens willing to take action and try to support them in what they do, in order to be sure that they would embrace the transition and have it implemented in due time. What is needed now, and many of you said it, and precisely because we have a short time available ahead of us, is to accelerate the transition, is to have all the solutions being deployed as quickly as possible, and to lift the hurdles we may have along the way. Hopefully, I would hope most of them will be more at national level than at the EU level, but all of this will need to be kept in mind for the new Commission, because at the end of the day, the Green Deal is only one milestone. We know it's not the end of the road. As we know from the climate law, the pathway is pretty clear. You may have seen that the Commission is already working on the 2040 target, so we are consulting broadly on this. That's probably going to be left in terms of political decision for the next Commission. But so the Green Deal is the first milestone. We will have to work on 2040 if we want to reach climate neutrality by 2050. So that's where I think avenues and processes like yours are very, very important. We need to work together to make you more visible, and I would encourage you to be more vocal, including in Brussels, because for us, I think Jutta Paulus said it as well, those involved in policy making in Brussels, where we go for the strategic objectives and then the enabling environment, we are often confronted to, a lot of resistance, opposition. Of course, there are lots of technicalities as well, but it's very hard when you are involved in this to get the bright side of things and to hear people coming with solutions that can bring a lot in terms, for instance, of emission reductions. I worked myself for a long time on shipping, and I can tell you that, sorry? Good news, but I worked. I mean, I was the head of unit on aviation and shipping for a while in Clima. I can tell you it was not an easy file. So that's why I think definitely we need you to be more vocal, and we need to see your solutions more, including in Brussels.
Bon. Alors,
All right. So civil society is companies, it's associations too. Thank you for your speech. I will now give the floor to Emma from Time for the Planet. Emma, where are you? There she is. Hi, Emma. You can speak from there. You have a mic. There are many people watching you online. Hi, my friends. Hi, dear friends. Team for the Planet. How many people were following you online? I don't know, but a bunch of people following you online. I heard thousands. Wait, we are 120,000 people. Hi, everyone. I received 3 minutes to speak. I spent the night preparing something for 3 minutes. I'll try to stick to the 3 minutes. It's a matter of solidarity with the people who speak afterwards. So can you hear me if I'm standing up? Yep. So today, I would like to propose an imagination exercise. So let's imagine together that we're not at the European Parliament. We're on a ship, comfortable and prosperous ship, which looks very good. And there, I think that everybody knows what it looks like because for 5 days we've been experiencing that. But now the scenario is different. And then they call us and they said the ship is sinking and it's going to sink fast. So what's next? We have two possibilities ahead of us. First, we can ask ourselves the question, who's in charge? Who's caused the problem? And who's sinking the ship? There's a second way to go. And there you say, how can we find a solution together? So let's ask ourselves how, with our screws and our wood, we'll build a raft that will just save our life, because this is absolute emergency. The sinking ship is the end of the limitations of our planet. And one of the rafts is Team for the Planet. Team for the Planet is the biggest citizens' climate action movement in Europe. We've brought together, without money, without a network, over 120,000 shareholders, 100,000 within the EU, 17 million euros collected, invested in 9 innovations, some of which are here today. Innovations which aim at being deployed open source to maximize the deployment. And by the way, they've been identified thanks to a unique process worldwide through collective intelligence in a renowned European scientific committee. Additionally, they've already tried to reduce CO2 emissions by 9,000 tons with our investment. So we can ask ourselves, what do we do? So who's the best to build a raft? Is it the citizens? Do they build better rafts than companies? Are they more ambitious? Or is it the states who will build better rafts? Is it the states which will build better rafts than citizens? It's not our project. This is not how we work. We want to bring everybody together. We want to bring everybody together, men, women, from all realms of life, companies, large, small, associations, NGOs, sports clubs, public authorities, investment funds. We want them to speak together with elected representatives from all political parties. Team for the Planet and the Arch means bringing everybody on the same ship so that literally we can build truth, to cooperate and build the rafts. Together, we have brought together our strength to take action with the decision makers in the companies through emotions, feelings, arts, and collective reflection. Team for the Planet and the Arch have created or are creating the necessary footbridges to save our lives. Together, we want to reach an objective, and we are sure that we will make it. Because we're ambitious, because we all know deep down that it is in our own interest, individual and collective interest. So today, we are here because of winds and tides and streams. At the European Parliament, we're here, and we know this is the best way for us to have fair and ambitious decarbonation. Without Europe, without the MEPs, without corporate leaders, without you, we will never make it. So today, what we need is that EU gets on board with Team for the Planet and should co-invest with us. We all need you to join the Team for the Planet. Thank you.
And last but not least, Women for Sea. In transition, we need women. And women are often in charge. Bertie Lefebvre ou Nathalie, can you hear me? We can hear you, Nathalie. Can you hear me? Yeah. Great. So I just have a quick comment, Catherine. Can we just go by 52% of humanity to address major challenges for climate and the ocean? No, of course. Yet women are underrepresented in decision-making circles. We are Women for Sea, a community of oceanographers, captains, historians, artists, MEPs, MPs, citizens, business women. We represent a network of more than 9,000 women and men committed to the protection of the marine environment. We aim at safeguarding the marine environment, and we aim to use sail propulsion for shipping. We aim also at valuing women who want to work together for the seas. We also want to make sure that people, companies and pupils want to act as well. And we have created the very first scientific women expedition. And we just come back from the Odyssey of Possibles, the first think tank on a sailboat. For 1 month, we have put and pooled our expertise to think about concrete solutions for women's voices for the seas. 2 concrete examples. First of all, create an observatory of gender equality for the safeguard of oceans, aiming at producing concrete recommendations and actions in order to make sure that there are more women in the sectors, in the industry. We also want to create a digital tool for women on boats. It will aim at flagging all sexual violence on board. We have embarked upon the Arch in order to increase our visibility, and we thank them because we want to work even more with companies in order to share pluridisciplinary knowledge and support them towards a parity and joint solution for the sake of the oceans. We greet the European Parliament for approving a text on the future directive on the impact of companies on the environment and human rights. If those projects speak to you, if you want to commit yourself for women in the oceans, unite yourselves to build this vision of an inclusive society committed for the seas, respectful of each and every stakeholder building its ecosystem. I take this opportunity to welcome the work of associations within the Arch who are working hard. SOS Mediterranean, the Human Kit, Les Petits Doudous, You to Me, and Les Pépites Vertes, also instrumental in this global project. Thank you very much to all of you.
Merci Catherine. Merci Nathalie.
Thank you, Catherine, and thank you, Nathalie. Valérie, would you like to take the floor before mine giving the floor to Damien for the concluding remarks? Thank you very much, Catherine. Very quickly. I've only been here for 10 minutes and I've been fully energized with your positive energy. I'm frustrated and disappointed I could not have been with you since the very outset of the event and been able to listen more to you, but I wanted to support you, your commitment, support also Catherine's commitment, because Catherine is fighting for Europe's of solution. You have been doing so since 2019. You are one of the stakeholders of the solution-oriented Europe. You're feeding our work at the European Parliament through your field action. And I think Emma said that. This is a collective momentum. You talked about emotions, art, and collective reflection. We need reason. We also need reflection, positive commitment in order to embark each and every one in the fight against climate change. It is of the utmost importance. Your solutions are fundamental. I will pay a closer look to them, obviously. But as you mentioned, dear colleague, there is a lot of reluctance in the European Parliament against for the fight against climate change. And now positions are hardening. Texts that have been voted at the beginning of the mandate could no longer be voted today at the end of the mandate because we have right-wing conservators who are lurching. We should not open the economy to the ecology. This is the line we have been defending. And I think through concrete solutions such as yours that have to be made visible through the project and that you will continue to make visible, we offer concrete solutions. And we prove to those who think that the ecology is negative that they are wrong. So thank you very much for your work. We will be there to support you. And I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much. And thank you to Catherine. Right. Before giving the floor to Damien, he has a surprise, apparently. I would like to thank each and everyone in this room each and everyone who made this event at the European Parliament possible, even though it was not possible. I hope that we have been able to greet you in a proper fashion and to welcome you here in a proper fashion here at the European Parliament. Thank you very much to the different representatives of the European institutions, Commission, agency, and so on and so forth. And quickly about Damien before he takes the floor. Damien and I met on the Mini Transat race. He won that race, and well, I lost. I was very far away from him really during that race. But no, let me say that Damien is wholehearted in his project. He likes hybrid projects, technique side, innovation, but also art, emotions. And clearly, Damien is instrumental and is a real conductor in our efforts. Maybe Patrick, quickly, because after giving the floor to Damien, no one will be able to speak anymore. So I wanted to anticipate. I wanted to thank sincerely Catherine for welcoming us within the European Parliament. I know it was difficult. Thank you to Frederic, thank you to Claire, to Agathe, to each and everyone. Thank you to you for your work. Thank you to the whole team. Thank you to Claire as well. I don't know whether Claire is still with us today from the Secretariat of our delegation. So thank you very much. We are at your service. Catherine, we also have a small surprise for you. We will be handing you all the drawings and pictures of the children who have taken part to this adventure. The drawings are in this luggage here, and you may recognize it. It's quite heavy. Pauline, impact responsible of the project, has made an incredible and tremendous job with all the children and the schools. Thank you very much.
Ils ont fait le tour de l'Europe.
Ils ont fait le tour de l'Europe sur le bateau de Francis.
Autoroute pour les vélos. Alors
Ah.
ça, parce que Fabienne, elle ne se déplace qu'à vélo à Strasbourg.
Controverse de Marie d'ailleurs. Merci beaucoup.
Bien, maintenant, c'est le moment de conclure.
Right, now is the time to conclude, and I wanted to thank Catherine and Patrick did it already. Patrick and Catherine, thank you very much for all the energy you put in this project. I just wanted to conclude with thanking, with two acts of thankness. Human commitment and voluntary commitment. And I think that it is a very concrete strength. This project was born thanks to 5 people in an association. There are volunteers, there are former head of companies, CEOs, like Yves, for example. And these are people like Jean-Marie, former journalist as well. Frédéric, where is Frédéric? Has done the 2,700 agreements of your sponsorship agreement. Francis is not here today because he is in charge also of other associations with the future of oceans, for example. So I would like us to thank and pay tribute to the voluntary commitment of those CEOs and former CEOs who spent thousands of hours at least. So thank you to Patrick Boissier. Francis Bala, who is not here. Yves Gillet. Please stand up, Yves. Frédéric Marchand, over there. and Jean-Marie Bien, our great communicator. And by the way, a quick word of advertisement, you can buy his books. And then let's have some music, because you were talking about a conductor, but there is only one conductor, Jean-Christophe Spinozzi. He's introduced art, and the second form of commitment is your commitment. Why your commitment? Because you are associations, organizations who worked on those solutions. And also sponsorship created by Coluche through the Resto du Cœur. And through that sponsorship, we've been able to convert your commitment for the planet. 2/3 of what you have paid was to put forward solutions for the planet and to transform your companies. I wanted to thank you all of that. We hope that we'll make some noise at the European Parliament with music, and we hope that we'll keep on going such a fashion with such an energy. So congratulations for your work.
Allez, on se lève. Allez, on se lève. Levez-vous.
C'est l'hymne.
Your interpreter unfortunately cannot hear the gentleman. So thank you, Madame Chabot, thank you, Patrick, and all the others. We wanted to play some music here. I was wondering whether you knew the lyrics, and apparently no one knows the lyrics. Fabian knows them. There are no lyrics because there is a language issue. There are 24 languages and there are different texts. I like one of those texts, but there is no set lyric. This is the Ode to Joy from Schiller, a great poet. Beethoven discovered the text when he was 20 years old. And he was smitten with this text, and he decided to put it in music. During his whole life, he was not able to do it. And he was able to have a few sketches, and he was able to put it in the Ninth Symphony in the last movement. So it's superb. So you hear it really coming from far away. The basses at first, and it comes from very far away. It's his whole life. You can work during your throughout your life. He was suffering a lot at the end of his life, but he created this ode to joy, full of hope, of joy, his whole life, to build such a humanity, such a fraternity. And this is why I wanted to explain that it should be fundamental for Europe. Art and music are fundamental. Without art and music, as Nietzsche was saying, without music, life would be a mistake. It is complicated, and I think a bit of music can make a real change. And this is why, if we still have a few minutes, and then we need to conclude, the musicians, explaining in 2 words. Yeah, we need to get out of the room. We still have 5 minutes, okay. 5 minutes, all right. So here you have Laurence, the first violin. And someone cut the microphone of Miss Chabot. We need to turn on one microphone. Unfortunately, the interpreter cannot hear anything. Thank you very much. So, he and Hendrix both were living in the same building in London. So we created an academy with the 27th nationality of the European Union. And I think this is the granddaughter of Patrick here, by the way. So he's really proud of her, as you can imagine. So we need a you need to do this, all the men. And all the voices of women doing a la. Okay? Could you get that? Let's start.
Il passe, jouez, continue.